Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of Jim's Market Update. Of course, I am joined by Jim himself. How are you doing today, Jim?
Good, thank you. Hello again.
So before we get started into this week's update, I do have to remind you guys to go to our website, wsitv.com, and sign up for our free daily newsletters there. You get access to all of the content that we put out, and you also get access to the WSI Vault. So jump starting right into what we're seeing now. This morning I caught wind of a headline that I think you would find very interesting. The mainstream media is saying something along the lines of stocks have canceled the 2020 recession.
Right.
So what do you think about the 2020
I
recession?
I think it's very amusing, a very amusing headline. I never knew there was a recession.
I didn't either.
Coming in 2020, and the reason I say that is because the stock market, I'm looking at the stock market, and it's a very good leading indicator of when trouble is coming. Typically by about 6 months to 9 months, actually. Now, had they been saying this in 2018? When we had this at the end of a year ago, we had this huge drop, and people were starting to say, well, are we talking about therefore 2019 recession? I would have been, well, maybe you've got a point.
Yes.
But, for the whole of this year, we look at our long-term chart here, the market's been marching upwards. So when this, this narrative started to come into effect, I have no idea, but over summer, I recall repeatedly saying, I wasn't saying it was a bull market yet, but I was saying we're not saying anything bad either. And almost 2 months ago, we declared a brand new bull market.
Yes,
that's why we sat this guy back on the desk. And so only just now, people are just waking up to something that we said two months ago. And, that's not to try to brag about it. It's just to say, look, what we're doing is just stop listening to the talking heads, let the market guide us about what it's doing right now. And it is a great forecasting mechanism. And that's where we're looking at right now is all systems go. And in fact, it's got very hot actually on Friday, really gapped up there, and gapped up today as a follow through. It's running hot. No reason why it can't stay running hot. But at the same time, I'm not going to be surprised, and I'm hoping for a healthy correction to the downward side to keep it. That's what keeps it fueled. You've got to have the ups and downs, the zigzags. Nothing goes up in a straight line. So that's what we're looking for now. Having said that, we're now through spooky October, and November and December are typically the best months of the year. Black Friday again is going to be very an important date they're looking at for retailers. But all systems point to the economy is doing fine, and so the stock market agrees.
For sure, yeah. So like you said, last Friday we saw the October jobs report came out, and there were the beat expectations, and that's what some of the people were attributing the big jump that we saw last week. But we also saw throughout the week that it was constantly hitting record highs. Starting, I believe it was Wednesday, the S&P just started marching upwards, and we had the rate cut from the Fed came out last Wednesday. Right. And historical data shows that when you have 3 consecutive rate cuts in the way that we have seen this year, the S&P returns 20% on average in the 12 months following that. Yeah,
which is unsurprising. That's the Federal Reserve juicing the economy like they always have to. It's supposed to not be the case, but the president is their boss. He wants to give the president a re-election, and we're coming into election year. Janet Yellen did the same thing when it was in 2016 when it was Obama's year. That's just the game they play.
For sure.
That's not surprising at all to see it. The stock market responds invariably,
For sure.
in a positive way, as you say. That's the overall market.
Well, you mentioned that nothing goes straight up, so I will bring one of your favorite stocks back into play. We were talking about AT&T last week.
Right.
And back to the streaming wars a little bit, we do have Apple, we have Netflix, and we have AT&T also with their HBO. Right. And they're all weighing in on this streaming platform service. We saw in the past year, AT&T just skyrocketed out of nowhere. What do you think about
Yeah, well, it's that is like this whole new frontier, as you're saying, is this, we got Apple TV Plus going live now, and that's the, the new battleground, and it's you, as you rightly say, you've got otherwise, boring companies like AT&T that, don't even have like questionable network strength in certain places. It's not like Verizon that kind of dominates. It's just, it's just AT&T phone company. But you strike a deal, and all of a sudden this is going to drastically affect the stock price. And we're still in the legacy of the technological revolution that started with the back in the 2000s with the dot-com boom, the internet. And this is just going to be a theme, as we march forward. Is the game-changing technology that creates opportunities out of the blue, and it's whether it's be biotech, robotics, but now also streaming wars, as we're saying. But again, that looking at the market is going to tell you, where the moves are, where the movers are, and you see Disney here as well, so that's really what determines, who gets the deals or not. So, and that's really just, that's just boardroom negotiations more than I think than equipment and signal strength, because they're all just a much of a muchness. Who can offer the best content.
Awesome. So you mentioned the picks that you can go into this year as we're seeing a different end of the year from 2018. What are the things that you have on your radar right now as we're coming to a close in 2019?
Yeah, I'm always looking for, now that the bull market is on, always looking for good stock trading opportunities, and that's the sort of thing that all of our recommendation services are, homing in on. The ones that you want to be aligned with the bigger picture trend. So many times I think people are stock trading and they don't realize that what the overall market's doing is a major effect. You could have a really greatly positioned individual stock trade, but if the overall market is, we look at the S&P every Monday, if the overall market is pushing down, it's going to sink all ships and raise all ships. It's very important to be aligned with what the market's doing. You could argue that there haven't been, trading really shouldn't have been going on that much when it's say at the end of 2018 and so on. But now the bull market's on. You want to be aligned with that, homing in opportunities, especially coming into what looks like the always is traditionally the good times of the year, November, December. Definitely.
Yeah, so I think that was it. That was your take on the 2020 recession.
Right.
Is there anything else you want people to know before this week comes to a close?
No, I just think keep an eye on. We're looking to enter on dips now. I think don't get too carried away. But the overall market is very, very hot right now. It's pumped up. It's going up correct a little bit at least, and level off. And those using those leveling off, pulling back opportunities. To get back in and load up for what's looking like a brand new bull run.
Awesome. Yeah. So you heard it straight from Jim himself. The 2020 recession, or so called.
Right. Is cancelled.
All systems go.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Right now,
Exactly. Which is a great note to be going into Las Vegas with.
Yes, for sure.
So Las Vegas in December the 7th and 8th.
Yes.
You should have got an invitation by now. Seats are selling. So please do join us there. It'd be great to see you.
So we're going to go ahead and link that for you guys down in the description so you can join us in Las Vegas. And thank you so much for joining us for this week's market update. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.